Good afternoon, good evening, good night, and welcome to Throwbacks, where we talk all things cool and retro. And let's say hello today to Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Don't say it 3 times, otherwise the next movie will not be good. And we don't want that. No, sir, we do not. But what we do want is to have a look at this brand new, sort of re-released Beetlejuice from Neca. This is obviously the Beetlejuice stripe suit. This is kind of his most iconic look here, in the pinstripe. Get up. Does come with, looks like the handbook for the recently deceased, and a little pocket worm there. So take a look at the back. Kind of a nice little blurb about how he comes to pass and all that good stuff. And then you can also get the wedding suited version as well. And I do believe they're making like an ultimate version, maybe of this one. I'm not 100% sure, but I did see it at San Diego Comic-Con. They're doing the one with where he's got like the spikes sticking out of him and all that cool stuff there. So that's to come. So hopefully that will have a little bit more articulation, as just judging by the window area here, we're not going to get a ton of that with this figure. But only one way to find out for sure, and that is to crack on open the hostess with the mostest, Mr. Beetlejuice. So you guys excited about the new movie? Nervous about the new movie? It's always a risky proposition when they bring out some beloved characters and some beloved movies from the past and do sequels. So it's always it's tricky business. Tricky business. You're excited because you wanna see it and hope it's great and it's a great continuation of the story, but also you don't want it to poo-poo on the memory and the legacy of what made the characters and the movie great in the first place. But I think we should have some pretty good confidence in this one. It is still done by Tim Burton after all, and of course Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, and the addition of what is her name? My lord, why can I not remember her name? Jenna Ortega. There we go. To the cast. So I don't think you can find a better idea for a daughter for Winona Ryder's character than one Jenna Ortega. So she should fit perfectly in the series, but time will tell. But time to get down to this figure. Now, as I said, I'm 99% sure this is basically a re-release, probably a little freshen up of a past, I think they were like the Movie Maniacs figures. But just a little snake action going on there. It does have a little bit of detail on the eye. So you do have a little bit of eye action there. So not really sure what. We'll have a look at it and see if this actually will go up his sleeve, but not too sure. And then a cool accessory. The handbook for the recently deceased. Does it open? Doesn't open, but it does look like they did some cool details and kind of added in, make it look like it's got some pages and all that good stuff. Looks like mine's cracked a little bit right there, but that's okay. Nothing to freak out about, but nice backing there and looks good on the top. Now for the main event, Mr. Beetlejuice. Here we go. Beetlejuice looks great. Looks like some kind of almost translucent hair here, so that's an interesting take on that. I do like that. The face is the face, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and bring this up just a smidge so we can really hone in on this face, because it is definitely a great looking face sculpt here by Neca. And look at that, great paint. Extra green here down on the sides, up in the hairline. Green in the ear, up in the top, looks good. Really creepy look there. Inside of his mouth, the crazy nasty teeth. Let's check his head movement. So his head does move around pretty freely, so you get some pretty nice movement there. Nice tie, nice gut action there. His jacket does move around pretty good to give you some mobility there with that. arms go around, and do they come out? Yep, and they come out. Nice tight Neca joints, as we all kind of know how that's going to go. No elbow action. We do have some wrist rotation. We can go up and we can go down on that. So there's a little room there, and there's some details on his nasty hands. And then obviously some more detail there on his nasty hands. At least my nails don't look so bad, right? And then down to his pants. You do have a seam there on his pants. Again, no articulation here on his legs whatsoever. Moving on down. You do have swivel, and that is it. You do have swivel here around, but nothing else doing there. And some details on his boots, which I don't know that we've ever even really paid attention to. But I guess the main thing here is, does he stand on his own, considering, you know, oh, well, okay, let's move his hands up forward, give him a little. So that is an issue with Mr. Beetlejuice, is he is not wanting to stand on his own, which for a figure that does not have the any articulation, you would think he would be able to stand, but that's okay. Let's see if we can move this foot out a little bit. He does have a little movement. No, we're still not wanting to stand. Oh. Alright, so I mean, that is something to keep in mind, is you're probably going to need a ringside stand or some other form of stand. I do have a wrestling ringside collectible stand here, so let's see if that does help things out. Give it a little push down there, and that does do the trick. He does stand up there. Obviously, if you're spending your hard-earned money on a figure, you do want them to stand on their own. So that is disappointing, I will say, that it is not able to stand up on its own. Now, one thing I did want to look at, and I don't think this is going to be a thing, but is if the snake can hide up his arm. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this. I can't imagine that it really does. And no, it does not appear. So then it's just kind of like it's a plastic stick, essentially. So not much going on there. And honestly, the handbook doesn't really do much with this character anyway. I don't feel like it's a nice addition, but I don't really think that it super fits him as a character. So something to keep in mind there. But on the bright side, this figure is only $25. So obviously, NECAs usually do run the Ultimates and stuff like that with the extra articulation. Do run quite a bit higher, usually in the 35 to 40 range. So that is a bright spot. If you do, you need one Beetlejuice and you're good to go, then that's the way to do it. Nice $25. And as long as you have an action figure stand, I think you'll be okay. But what do you guys think? This is kind of a bummer that it doesn't stand, or does it not ruin it for you? I won't say that it ruins it for me. I have plenty of these stands, but you know, the average fan or collector of figures might not have an extra stand like this lying around. So cracking it out of the package and being excited about it, trying to put it on your desk or something like that, and he falls right over, has got to be a bummer. But I won't let it ruin this review or this figure. I still think it's a great figure. I wouldn't say great. I still think it's a good figure. The ability stand is definitely a hindrance on it, but we'll see what comes up down the road with the ultimate releases of these figures. If I'll get more, I'm sure I will. If the movie's good, we'll get some of those Jenna Ortega, Winona Ryder, and different versions of our main man here. So I guess time will tell. But it is time for us to get on out of here. It's time to throw one back. But before we do that, do us a favor, like this video, leave a comment down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel as we post new crazy content every single day. Everything from toy hunts to possible, spoiler alert in the future, movie set reviews, unboxing, and everything in between. So be sure to subscribe. It's always a nice thing to see that little ticker go up on the old subscription list, so we do appreciate it. But it's time to get out of here. It's time to throw one back. So for myself and for Uncle BJ, we are going to throw one back, and we'll see you all next time.